When I picked up the phone to ask my son Max when his wedding would be, my daughter-in-law Lena looked me right in the eye and said with a chilling smile, "Oh, we already got married yesterday. We only invited special people." Those remarks struck me with the force of a frigid wave crashing over me. Special individuals. Me, who over the past 3 years had covered their 500 monthly housing costs, purchased all the furnishings in their home, and stocked their pantry during times when they struggled to afford meals. Apparently, I didn't qualify as someone important. There I was, frozen in the middle of my own sitting area, gripping the receiver like it was an unbearable burden, observing my son dodge my stare as Lena settled into the couch I'd acquired for their place. The soft rose-colored gown I'd selected for the occasion dangled pointlessly in my wardrobe, paired with fresh footwear and the shattered dream of participating in the pivotal moment of my sole child's existence. I'd invested $200 in that outfit, envisioning myself beaming in the pictures from Max's big day images where I'd be entirely absent. Over the previous months, I'd meticulously organized every aspect. I'd reserved $1,000 as a present for their marriage. I'd phoned my sibling Diana in Chicago to share the joyful update. I'd scrubbed my residence thoroughly, imagining they might drop by to rejoice with me post-event. Everything crumbled instantly under the weight of those venomous terms. Just the elite few. At last, Max met my eyes and uttered in a tone that seemed scripted, "Mother, it was a private affair, quite modest, only us and the required observers." Yet I sensed the deception. I'd spotted the snapshots online. I'd noticed Lena's folks beaming alongside the newlyweds. I'd seen her brothers and sisters raising glasses in celebration. I'd viewed Lena's ivory gown, which I'd indirectly supported with the $800 I provided her the prior month for her own needs. I'd witnessed all that was meant to remain hidden from me. 7 days following that mortifying revelation, Lena reached out with an entirely altered demeanor. Gone was the assured lady who'd shut me out of her nuptials. In her place was a frantic, nearly begging tone. "Renate, our housing payment is late. The property owner is hounding us and threatening eviction if we don't settle up soon. It seems you overlooked sending the funds." Her words quivered faintly, as though catastrophe loomed. I paused briefly, recalling every instance I'd hurried to the financial institution to handle that deposit. All the occasions I'd sacrificed my personal agenda to ensure they remained sheltered. All the periods I'd subsisted on simple fare like legumes and grains to allocate funds for their luxuries. And here they were, after barring me from the pinnacle of their shared journey, daring to contact me as if no rift existed. "Lena," I responded with a composure that astonished me. "Hadn't I mentioned that my assistance is reserved for those who truly matter?" The quiet on her side was profound, allowing me to detect my pulse racing. For what felt like the initial era in ages, the anxiety shifted to her. "Renate, I'm confused," she faltered. "You've always viewed us as cherished. You're essentially another parent to me." Fabrications. Pure deceptions, delivered in that honeyed cadence she reserved for requests. The identical inflection she'd employed when seeking cash for the bridal attire, the getaway, the bands. Items, I'd missed the ritual of their exchange. Throughout those many seasons, I'd harbored this persistent sensation of treading delicately, measuring each utterance, action, and offering, yearning for a fragment of warmth from my flesh and blood. I'd embodied the ideal guardian, the accommodating relative by marriage, the unobtrusive benefactor who refrained from complaints even as they rendered me unseen. However, that declaration about exclusive guests ignited a long-suppressed fire within me. I'd tallied mentally the funds disbursed to them across those 3 cycles. Encompassing lease, provisions, presents, crises, and indulgences, it surpassed $20,000. $20,000 drawn from my post-work funds, my reserves, the legacy my departed spouse had secured from my serene twilight years. And for what return? To be regarded as an outsider during my child's matrimonial milestone. After ending the call that evening, I perched on my mattress and wept. Yet these weren't droplets of sorrow. They stemmed from fury, pent-up exasperation, decades of quietly borne indignities. I sobbed for every moment they implied my devotion was cumbersome, my attendance obstructive, my resources, the sole value I possessed. I mourned the naive caregiver I'd become, the individual who'd erased her identity in pursuit of indispensability to those deeming her expendable. Upon awakening the following dawn, an internal shift had occurred. It transcended mere heartache from disloyalty. It delved into something profounder, more unyielding. I rose and gazed at my reflection in the washroom glass. The familiar weary orbs, the creases narrating tales of lifelong selflessness without reciprocity. But a novel element lurked in my stare, a resoluteness unfamiliar, a resolve entombed beneath eras of acquiescence. I proceeded to the cooking space and brewed Java, a ritual spanning 4 decades. This instance, though, I omitted contemplating a ring to Max, inquiring about his rest. I neglected scanning my device for an apologetic note from him regarding the prior ordeal. For an extended interval, my own welfare claimed priority at daybreak. I settled at the surface, where I'd frequently orchestrated delights for them, tabulated expenses for their outlays, and shed silent tears amid their apathy. Presently, this spot would observe an utterly novel occurrence. I retrieved my ledger of checks, my fiscal records, and commenced calculations. I sought precise figures illustrating my folly's magnitude. 500 periodic shelter fee times 36 intervals equaled 18,000. Groceries and essentials, roughly 200 monthly, tallied another $7,200. Festive offerings for births, holidays, milestones, at minimum $3,000. Lena's health urgencies, $800. The vehicle advance they omitted reimbursing, $2,500. The cooling unit fix in their dwelling, $600. The lounge ensemble, $1,200. $33,400. That represented the precise measure of my benevolence. $33,400 squandered from my partner's bequest, my annuity, the nest egg amassed cent by cent over spans of diligent labor. All those resources discarded to sustain 2 grown-ups who couldn't muster feigned esteem for me. The device chimed, displaying Max's identifier. Typically, my core would throb as I dashed to respond, anticipating he'd at last express remorse and clarify it as a mix-up, but now I permitted it to echo once, twice, thrice. It ceased, and I resumed sipping my brew nonchalantly. A decade of minutes elapsed before it sounded anew. Lena this round. I allowed it to persist, unanswered. Subsequently, a missive arrived from Max. "Mother, pick up, please." Discussion needed. I erased it sans retort. By early afternoon, I opted for a stroll. Months had passed since I'd wandered aimlessly, devoid of ties to their demands. It invariably involved banking for remittances, market runs for their essentials, dispensary visits for Lena's remedies. Today, the outing served solely my whim. I ambled by the green space where I'd escorted Max during his youth. I recollected that affectionate lad who'd embraced me fiercely and proclaimed me the finest parent globally. At what juncture did he evolve into this fellow who perceived me as a sentiment-laden dispenser? When did I conflate affection with currency? When did I convince myself that purchasing my offspring's regard was necessary? At the fiscal establishment, where I'd routinely executed those disbursements, I halted before the entrance. The overseer, Mr. Klein, spotted me via the pane and gestured. Our acquaintance spanned years. He'd facilitated each conveyance to Max and Lena. He'd observed my holdings dwindle progressively to bolster theirs. I entered and headed straight to his workspace. "Mr. Klein," I declared, "I require termination of the scheduled remittances I've arranged." He regarded me astonished. For 3 revolutions, those outflows had matched Dawn's reliability. "Certain, Mrs. Richter?" "Any developments?" His solicitude rang authentic, surpassing any regard Max had exhibited lately. "What's transpired is, I've at last awakened," I countered. "Cease all and furnish guidance on securing my holdings." No external access to my capital desired. As Mr. Klein executed the halts, my gadget buzzed incessantly. Max, Lena, Max once more. It resembled a sensor alerting to their lifeline's jeopardy. I powered it down entirely. Mrs. Richter, Mr. Klein remarked while presenting the forms. Pardon my overstep, but across these periods I've noted your lavishness toward kin. I trust no coercion prompts these alterations. His sentiments stirred me profoundly. This acquaintance, known merely through dealings, displayed truer care than my progeny. No duress, Mr. S. Klein. Rather, I've ceased compelling myself. Exiting the institution, a peculiar buoyancy enveloped me, akin to depositing a colossal load there. For the initial span in eons, my wealth belonged wholly to me. No monetary duties bound me to entities viewing me as a commodity over a being. Returning to my abode, I pondered the pursuits I'd forsaken to accommodate Max and Lena. Voyages bypassed to conserve for them. Companions neglected amid perpetual readiness for their plights. Pastimes abandoned since each coin on myself diminished their allotment. Upon arrival, 3 vehicles obstructed my entry. Max's, Lena's, and an unfamiliar one. Through the panes, activity stirred within my dwelling. A chill coursed through me. They possessed entry keys. I'd entrusted them, believing reciprocity and care awaited. I inhaled deeply prior to unlocking. This marked the inaugural clash of my renewed existence. Entering my residence revealed an indelible tableau. Max slumped on my settee, palms cradling his brow. Lena traversed the floor restlessly like a confined beast, while an elder stranger rifled through documents on my eating surface. My records, my confidential files, what's occurring? I queried in a timbre bolder than anticipated. The trio pivoted, eyeing me as the outsider in my domain. Lena spoke initially, her inflection carrying the frantic edge from our call. Renate, goodness you're back. Conversation is essential. Mr. Fisher represents the legal group we've engaged regarding your circumstances. My circumstances? The inquiry escaped with poise that amazed me. What circumstances? I'm faring splendidly. Max elevated his visage, revealing optics once innocent, now mirroring fiscal dread. Mother, we visited the bank. They informed us you've halted the disbursements. Mr. Klein detailed you've barred our entry to your funds. We can't fathom the reason. Mr. Fisher, a mid-50s gent in slate attire with a dubious grin, advanced with extended palm. Mrs. Richter, Dr. Bisty. Fisher here, specializing in familial disputes. Your relatives fret over your psychological state and requested my evaluation. I declined the gesture. Instead, I advanced to the surface and gathered my files. He perused, uninvited. These constitute personal matters. No authorization permits your scrutiny. Mother, Max inserted with that patronizing inflection honed lately, concern drives us. Your actions lately appear odd. Abrupt fiscal severance sans rationale. Ignoring our outreach. Professional aid may benefit you. Lena neared, attempting to clasp my limb with contrived warmth deployed for necessities. Renate, dear, stress burdens you evidently. Solitude might impact you profoundly. At your stage, disorientation episodes occur routinely. Disorientation resonated like a siren. Their lawyer's presence clarified intent. Not aid, but deeming me unfit to seize my assets. The identical female who'd labeled me unworthy for their union now depicted me as a befuddled elder. No confusion afflicts me, I asserted resolutely, quelling the room. Clarity surpasses recent memory, and you 3 depart my premises immediately. Mr. Fisher interposed with that moderated legal timbre. Mrs. Richter, overwhelm is understandable, yet your kin hold entitlement to step in if decision-making capacity wanes. They've chronicled troubling patterns. Troubling patterns. My chuckle emerged ragged, nearly harsh. Such as? Claiming my funds as mine? Halting subsidies for grown-ups discarding me like refuse? Lena recoiled as if struck. We've never mistreated you. You're integral to our circle. Your possessions will transfer to us eventually, merely accelerating matters. There lay the stark reality, my holdings destined for them. In their view, I vanished already, merely preempting inheritance. Whether 70 years or days remained irrelevant. To them, I embodied a troublesome cash machine. Leave, I commanded, gesturing outward. All of you exit my home. Max arose, face contorted in petulant ire. Mother, departure isn't feasible. Commitments bind us. Housing, vehicle installments, the plastic you endorsed. Abrupt cutoff isn't possible. Isn't possible? My volume escalated unprecedentedly. Who dictates impossibility? Years of covering leases, not mine. Supplying sustenance for a residence barring me, underwriting an existence excluding me. Mr. Fisher extracted a dossier from his case and positioned it before me. Mrs. Richter, we've drafted papers easing this shift. A mandate authorizing Max and Lena to oversee your assets temporarily until recovery. I seized the bundle, discarding it unopened into the waste. The sole shift forthcoming is your egress. Lena commenced weeping, but frustration fueled them, not grief. You can't inflict this upon us, Renate. We relied on you. Commitments assumed, trusting your aid. Purchases made. Debts incurred. Obligations rooted in my resources, I retorted. Not my joy, not my companionship, solely my resources. Now, prioritizing my existence renders me a muddled senior requiring oversight. Max attempted proximity, but I retreated. No longer the youth seeking solace from terrors, but a mature male viewing his parent as a barrier to ease via others' toil. Mother, errors occurred, he intoned, faintly contrite. The ceremony misfired. Lena stressed. Pressure mounted. Rectification possible if reason returns. Reason? The term soured. Reason equates sustaining your existence amid stranger treatment, feigning unscarred by exclusion from my child's paramount occasion. Mr. Fisher stowed his items with practiced rejection handling. Mrs. Richter, resolution pending. Kin possess avenues. If irrationality stems from psychological issues, judicial assignment of oversight viable. His utterance landed heavily. This transcended familial ploy, a legitimate peril. They aimed to nullify my autonomy. Mr. Fisher, I met his gaze squarely. Advise thorough inquiry ere menacing a 71-year-old who've impeccably steered finances 4 decades, solo-parented post-spouse's demise, maintained domicile and labored uprightly till pension, and till recently bankrolled 2 able-bodied grown-ups. Lena ceased tears, unveiling glacial authenticity. This unresolved, Renate. Rights and counsel hours too. Splendid, I countered. Engage attorneys aplenty, via your funds, naturally, as mine cease funding your juridical outbursts. They departed with affronted poise of denial novices. Ere exiting, Max pivoted once more. Mother, dire conclusion awaits you. Solitude sans aid in true need. Max, I conveyed with profound sorrow, yet lucid insight. Solitude, already mine. Now chosen, not imposed by your indifference. Shutting the portal, I lingered amid exquisite quietude unheard in ages. Liberty's hush. Sleep evaded that eve, not from woe or remorse, but exhilaration of reclaimed dominion. Abed, I strategized forthcoming maneuvers like a commander prepping conflict. If battle they sought, intelligence would arm me, not sentiment. By dawn's 6th hour, attired and poised, initial destination, counsel Mr. Weber's chambers, acquainted from spousal testament handling. Unlike Max and Lena's hire, Mr. Problem. Weber boasted sterling repute in senior safeguards. Mrs. Garrett's. Richter, he remarked amid my recount, Such kin endeavors prevail more than presumed. Elder monetary exploitation qualifies federally illicit. Unauthorized entry and document perusal breaches too. His term soothed and alarmed. Soothed, validating sanity. Alarmed, underscoring gravity. Documentation imperative, Mr. Fay. Weber proceeded. Each remittance, donation, coercion instance will revision to shield holdings from further schemes. 3 hours dissecting ledgers ensued. Mr. First. Weber exhaled sharply at 30,400 tally. Mrs. Setti. Richter, such sum afforded leisure, exploration, retirement bliss. Instead, total subsidy for disrespecting adults barring you from their union. Departing Mr. Weber's, strategy solidified. Foremost, replace domicile fasteners. Secondly, deploy monitoring with visuals against unannounced incursions. Thirdly, inaugurate fresh holdings at alternate institutions sans their ties. Fourthly, embrace deferred existence. Subsequent halt, supply depot. Proprietor Mr. Summer recognized me from recurrent acquisitions for Max and Lena's fixes. Today diverged. Mrs. Richter, what prompts today? Kin crisis anew, he inquired with witnessed benevolence's familiarity. Nay, Mr. Summer, my abode this occasion, require premium fastener swaps. Astonished, yet discreet. Amid selection, his offspring Ethan, security installer, appeared. Fate intervened. Ethan, I addressed, surveillance visuals essential too. Comprehensive setup, cost irrelevant. As preparations for morrow's fitting unfolded, an unfamiliar digit called. Lena, via alternate line post-blockade from prior clash. Renate, Lena here. Don't disconnect. Adult discourse needed. Proceed, I stated curtly. Hear me, wedding upset comprehensible. Mistake ours. Max and I conferred, amends desired. Perhaps celebratory meal at yours? Joint preparation as before. Ploys transparency nearly amused. Lena, precise arrears sum. Pause affirmed strike. 2 cycles. $1,000 aggregate. Yet not solely for that, Renate. Your presence missed. Miss me or my capital? I probed bluntly. Both, she conceded candidly. Renate, truth, aid vital, yet affection true. You matter. If paramount, I queried, why wedding exclusion? Why calls sans monetary plea? Last inquiry sans request? Pause anew. Mutual awareness, nil. Lena, singular elucidation. 3 years treated as emotive dispenser. Exploited, overlooked, degraded, ultimate affront sealed. Choice yours barring me, mine now. Disconnected, device deactivated. No further intrusions on Emancipation Day. That midday, salon revisit after annual hiatus. Appointments forfeited for Max or Lena's urgencies or self-funds diverted. Mrs. Richter, stylist Cynthia exclaimed, delightful return. Assumed forgotten. Not you, Cynthia. Merely overlooked self-indulgence. Indulged wholly, trim, tint, nail care. Year's premier guiltless self-expenditure. Amid styling, Cynthia shared her saga, offspring, aspirations. Refreshing dialogue untethered to kin demands. Radiant, Mrs. Problem. Richter, she concluded, beyond liberated. Fortunate occurrence? I, Cynthia. Mastered denial. Homeward, unfamiliar auto loomed. Pulse quickened, fearing Max and Lena's reinforcements, yet nearing revealed elder female on stoop. Mrs. Richter, she queried as I alighted. Affirmative. Assistance? Eleanor Brooks, adjacent dweller. Neighbors, eons yet untalked. Yesterday's raised tones concerned me. All well? Her earnest worry moved me. Stranger's care exceeded progenies. Enter, Mrs. Brooks. Brew Java. Relay unbelievable tale. Amid preparation, narrative flowed. Eleanor absorbed sans interruption, affirming nods. Conclusion brought her tears. Mrs. Richter, correct path chosen. Endured akin with offspring 5 prior. Deemed duty funding adulthood. Believed affection monetary. Outcome? Severed funds upon call for need realization. Initial horror, threats, guilts, blackmail. Yet post half year, genuine remorse call. Now authentic bond, love-based. Words instilled hope, affirmed choice. Max and Lena grasp someday? Perhaps, nay, she candid, no longer yours. Yours, self-life. That eve, sans 3-year fret over kin shelter, sustenance, fancies. Bedded pondering self, schemes, tomorrow, slumbered profoundly. Morrow, Ethan and Mr. Korchemer O. Summer arrived dawnward for fasteners and monitoring. Amid labor, device buzzed unknowns. Lena's varied attempts, yet novel aptitude, disregard inconvenient summons. Mrs. Richter, Ethan noted installing, system ensures tranquility. Mobile views entrance remotely. Intrusion auto alerts authorities. Irony evident safeguarding versus own blood. Yet pain dulled. Mere pragmatic serenity upkeep. During initiated long abandoned contact sibling Diana Chicago. Drifted apart as chats devolved to kin fiscal boasts as familial tidings. Renate, Diana startled. Sister, welfare? Months silent. Fine, Diana, superior. Calling senses regained. Recounted saga, covert union, shame, lawyer intrusion, subsidy cessation. Diana absorbed quietly. Conclusion, Renate, overdue. Heart ached hearing dollar-measured love boasts. Desired intervention, unsure how. What unsaid? Max's kin gatherings lacked warmth. Always mom, aided this, bought that, sans miss mom, love mom. Service, not soul. Words stung, yet curative. Wound cleansing agony, healing phase. Else observed? Diana added. Lena future spoke. Post Renate, house redo or inheritance invests business. As awaiting demise for vitality. Revelation chilled anew. Not mere dispenser, interim hurdle to funds. Amid delight efforts, they plotted sans May future. Post Diana, kitchen contemplation ensued. Spousal union loving decades, solo rearing 35 post demise, 3 funding adults deeming me 100,000 barrier. Chime sounded, visuals showed Eleanor mug bearing. Admitted, she proffered fresh brew, company post yesterday tale, she smiled appreciatively. Lounge seated, Eleanor elaborated experience. Daughter echoed Lena, second parent, cherished, eventual hours. Scripted ploys, manipulation manual. Exists? Half jest. Unofficial, yet uniform. Chapter 1, Indispensability Foster. 2, Perpetual fiscal woes. 3, Resistance queries sanity, laughed bitterly. Humorous, tragic kin patterns, guilt post-severance. Daily initial trio months, honest. Then outcomes, daughter dual employed. Spouse curtailed leisure, sought extras. Means, living learned. Crucially, personhood grasped, not asset. That midday, deferred act, spouse grave visit. Excuses perpetual for kin urgencies or fair better kin invested. Grounds serene, lovely. Robert's sight unkempt, months absent. Grass perched by marker, conversed as living. Robert Darling strayed a while. Post-departure Max focused. Supreme parent aspired. Fatherless compensation, yet self-erased. Breeze soft, sensed audition. Son unrecognizable, or veiled unseen. Wife, aware. Peace legacy spent carrying them. Ceased, love, learned. Tended sight, refreshed blooms, lingered hour, peace savored. Unrushed sans kin crisis. Homeward, 3 autos anew, pulse surged, prepared. Visuals Max, Lena, duo unknowns, agitated, gesturing. Remained vehicular, contacted Mr. Weber. Mr. Weber returned with extras. Guidance, stay put. En route, authority summoned. Post yesterday, interim bar secured. Property off limits. Moments, Mr. Weber, patrols arrived. Observed officers engage Max, Lena. Son gesticulated wrathfully. Lena wept, unmoved. Officer neared vehicle. Safe exit, ma'am. Visitors departing promptly. Alighting, Max yelled streetward. Mother, absurd. Kin hours. Police on son? Max composed retort. Kin shuns incompetent suits. Kin invades sans leave. Kin ATM's mothers. Lena hollered afar. Repay owed. Co-endorse debts. Abandonment invalid. Mr. Weber, future via office. Advise counsel pre-threats. Client documents voluntary 3-year outlays. Watch departure. Vanquished yet persistent. Unfinished yet assured. Expert aid. Eleanor support. Ethical clarity. That eve, Eleanor hosted supper. Met visiting daughter, beheld sound kin dynamic, respectful discourse, genuine inquiries, shared mirth. No monetary plea. Yearned Max akin, confided Eleanor post-departure. Possible someday, she. Foremost, learn respect-deserving person, not revenue. Bedded hopeful, firstly weeks. Ensuing days, tranquil oddly. Visuals captured Max, Lena drive-bys daily, lingering Sane's exit, routine surveillance seemingly. Mr. Weber advised log each, bolsters perpetual bar. Friday morn, breakfasting serene chime. Visuals polished female, dossier, professional beam. Unfamiliar yet formal. Morning, Mrs. Renate Richter, door opened. Senior Services Investigator. Report suggests risk, wellness verification needed, chilled. Escalation governmental. ID? Requested composed, certainly. Official credential, authentic. Social aid, Ms. Termins. Schmidt. Entry discussion, permitted. Refusal, riskier. Seated lounge, form extracted. Mrs. Richter reports indicate fiscal shifts, kin severance, paranoia via excess security, refused familial medical legal aid. Worded portraying deranged senior. Lena's craft evident, verbal twisting adept. Ms. Schmidt, lawyer call pre-questions. Ma'am, wellness not probe, transparency issue free. Hide nothing enraged. Abuser rationale, innocence sans privacy complaint. Calling lawyer. Wait or reschedule. Sans rep, no answers. Mr. Weber arrived swiftly. Seeing aide, sterned. Mrs. Schmidt, order. Client represented, unauthorized harasses. Sir, kin concern prompts duty. What kin? Mr. Weber dry. Same pressuring unrep mandate, same invading, document rifling, same excluding while money leeching, dossier tabled. Abuse docs, 33,400 3-year drain, exclusion, blackmail. Investigate elsewhere. Ms. Schmidt discomforted reviewed, mismatch evident. Mrs. Richter, abrupt kin aid halt. Why? Usage realization, simple. Motherhood banked. Fatigued, subsidizing obstacle seers. Familial aid duty absent. Outraged, duty reared till 18, tools independence. 35, wed, self-support capable. Choice ceased. Mr. Weber, normal 35, needing 71 mother rent. Ms. Schmidt paused, reassessing. Mrs. Richter, self-finance. Statements, investments, taxes, orderly. Independent. House pristine, self-care, drive, neighbor ties. Meds. Vitamins, aspirin occasional, no conditions. Mr. Weber, recent exams perfect. Ms. Schmidt cased. No risk, intervention unnecessary. Case closed. Post-departure, silence brief. Renate, escalation persists. Pros hired via scarce funds for incompetence. Desperation? Precisely. Further? Incompetent suit. Costly, winnable hard. Sympathetic judge. Psychiatrist favor possible guardianship. Terrified asset seizure. Attemptable, yet evidence competence, greed motive. Afternoon, Diana vented. Sister, extremes for money? Risk relations, lawyer-doctor spends, reputation ruin, account access quest. Reflected, true colors bared. Reconciliation void, never mother-in-law, legged money. Painful yet freeing, guiltless self-guard. Eve, Eleanor's surprised garden club invite. Renate, meet Cynthia's salon known, Maria, Carmen, Alfreda. Similar kin abuses. Shared, Maria brother boundaries, Carmen daughter visits monetary, Alfreda will change post-grandkids retirement view. Most hurtful confessed, not lost funds, but unrealized love, absence. Renate, Alfreda 80-wise, love unbought. Paid, illusion. Bomb wounded, right. Bought notice, not affection. Financed fantasy. Discovered, loneliness amid unloving worse than solo. Now alone, good company. Laughed, toasting wisdom. Post friends, garden pondered. Stars vivid or eyes cleared. Adult life premiere financial solitude. No dependence, self-obligations. Exciting over scary. Voyage whim, home redo, attire nice. Charity donate, self-invest over ungrateful present. Freedom hopeful. Month post-psych, war one thought. Routine lovely, breakfast newspaper, garden tend, lunch Eleanor friends, afternoons revived pursuits. Painting resumed, pre-kin financier passion. Thursday morn flower painting, Mr. C. Weber arrived grave. Renate, talk needed. Max Lena sued incompetence family court. Guardianship seek. Stones waited. Son legally unfit declaring for theft. Evidence? Scene competent. 3 witness erratic claims. Unpaid medicals, hoarded untaken meds. Lies. No debts, no hoards. No. Fabricated convincing. Dr. Ridey. Lehman uncooperative eval as decline proof. Diabolical. Self-protection twisted need proof. Witnesses? Lena, neighbor Davis, pharmacist Green. Davis opposite, irked parking. Green pharmacy, puzzled motive, Green talk needed. Something amiss. Afternoon pharmacy joint. Green surprised nervous. Mrs. Richter, well? Heard erratic med statement signed. Flushed. Daughter-in-law queried meds weeks ago. Worry, strange acts. Told? Vitamins aspirin only, no regulars, insisted health neglect proof. Signed? Document irregular buys confirm. Thought insurance. Unaware suit. Tricked. Need clarifying statement. Certainly, sorry misunderstanding. Post pharmacy, Davis confront. Hostile receipt. What? Understood client behavior statement. Correct. Woman unhinged weeks. Specifics? Cameras war zone, constant strangers, family street yells. Context. Lacked. Cameras protection. Strangers friends. Yells invasion defense. Why cameras? Protection son-in-law break-in threats. Crazy talk, crude, unreasoned. Malicious superficial. Eve, defense planned. Renate, own psych eval needed. Colleague Dr. More capacity expert. Official competence confirm. Bribe judge? Matters none? System imperfect, not corrupt. Solid proof competence. Greed drive. Fight ensues. Morrow, Dr. More appoint. 50s woman kind astute. Questions tests assess capacity. Honest time. 2 hours. Memory, reason, finance, emotion. Cognitives, math, logic, solves. Results superior age average. Competent, excellent function. Why family? Told, docs reviewed, classic elder exploit. Common sadly. Left validated sad. Health relief, suit necessity confirm. Afternoon Eleanor emergency club meet. Outrage suit news. Renate testify favor Maria. Weeks witnessed great, better Cynthia. Clearer, stronger than many 40s. Alfreda hands held. Renate, nothing new. Greedy offspring insane. Declare money grab. Generations. But you documentation, legal, friends testify. Hope given. Army strong women transformation witnesses. Saddest. Destroy reconciliation possibility money. Even forgive. No return. Best perhaps Cynthia. Know who, act accordingly. Night, cried first nightmare start. Not sad, grief. Farewell imagined son, loving family dream, unconditional reciprocation illusion, emerged new, iron will guard not money, dignity, freedom. War official, ready fight. Trial 3 weeks. Dawn early, best ebony ensemble, mirror determination, unprecedented. Judge not capacity, dignity, abuse-free right, value beyond account. Mr. Weber 7 a.m. strategy final. Renate, proof burden theirs, incompetent prove. We competent show. Bias judge? Miller fair repute. Past protects elderly. Courthouse 9 a.m. Hall, Max new suit occasion bought, Lena ebony funeral like. Hours perhaps, relation burial. Eyes met, Max averted, Lena cold confirmed transaction. Lawyer elder elegant, prior wins confidence. Opening, portray confused, manipulated, alienate loving kin. Honor, Mrs. Renate Richter clear decline months. Cut support, irrational. Paranoia security. Isolated influence, neighbors lawyers exploiting vulnerability. Empowerment dementia sounded, freedom manipulation. Witnesses called, Lena first, award tears. Describe change, hostile paranoid, isolated loving. Honor, trembling, Renate second mom. Decline devastating. Help care. Lies, tear-wrapped, Mr. Fide breast. Weber cross, Mrs. Schuster, last non-money call? Stammered. Topics varied. Date? Recall, lacking. True wedding uninvited? Small. Told special only? Context out. Context excluding mother-in-law non-special? Unconvincing. Max next. Stand oath, lie health painful. Raised alone, life dedicated. Mom generous always. Lately erratic manipulated. Cross mask fell. Mr. Richter 3-year mother money? Exact unknown. 33,400? Perhaps generous. Visit sans money? Silence loud. True broke house documents? Worried. Brought lawyer pressure mandate? Finance help. 35 needs 71 mother rent? Undignified silence. Davis erratic, details admitted no direct talk, superficial info. Dr. Lehman refusal, decline proof. Mr. Weber submitted Dr. Tur. More refute. Our turn. Mr. Weber Green first, trick statement explain, clarify no med issues. Dr. Moore excellent state, flawless tests. Summer hardware competence, rational transfers, Eleanor Club clarity, vitality, healthy relations. Finally me, dignity stand. Mr. Weber guided story, 33,403, wedding exclude humiliation, manipulation, privacy breach, threats. Mrs. Richter, stop support why? Understood not love, transaction family disguised. Money welcome, person not. Regret? Only delay. Cross-tried confuse, answered clear precise. Implied friends manipulate, explained respect, based not financial. Close, lawyer insisted external victim. Mr. Weber rebuttal, not incompetent, freed abuse. No medical incompetence. Frustration income source, right protect resources. Judge deliberated 2 eternal hours. Return, serious, clear. Evidence review, obvious court, Mrs. Renate Richter, full faculties. Psych confirm competence. Decisions, rational rights. Heart raced. Evidence suggests suit financial, not concern. Denies guardianship. 1. Not suit, freedom, dignity, abuse, free. Courthouse exit, Max Lena angry lawyer. Lena hatred glare. Max last look, regret flicker, too late. Night, Eleanor House celebration friends. Toasted justice, freedom, strong women sisterhood. Renate, Alfreda, not trial win. Life reclaimed. Right, future mine. Travel, love, create, life fearless, guiltless manipulation, free. 3 months, house sold, central apartment moved. Half donated elder protect orgs. Other live dreamed, Europe voyaged, art classed, volunteered. Max Lena silent. Heard smaller dwelling, Lena first job years. Adversity teach generosity couldn't, work value, independence. Night's balcony stars, ponder year ago woman fearful manipulated by love. Deceased. Born understands truth, love priceless, freedom invaluable. Renate, 72, learned love protect self paramount. If enjoyed tale, donate support more writings. Grateful advance. Your place action? Opinion share comments. Curious thoughts, story source 2. More tales, like subscribe channel. Await many. Warm regards. Till next,